Hi everyone, welcome to the start of this holiday reading vlog. For this vlog, I'm going to be reading the 3 Christmas books that I am the most excited about. I am so looking forward to these books and I feel like I'm going to love them. So I wanted to dedicate a whole vlog just to these 3 books. The first one I'm going to be picking up is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. This one's following a woman who stumbles upon a window display, and while she's looking at it, this guy comes up to her and asks for her opinion of the windows, and she goes in critiquing them, telling this guy how much she doesn't like them. And this guy just so happens to be the manager of the store, but he actually likes what she has to say about the windows, so he hires her to redo them, and then I believe their relationship ensues from there. Knowing Tessa Bailey, this one is going to be super spicy. I have not read a spicy romance in a long time, so I am ready for it. I think this one is going to be so fun, so Christmassy, and very steamy. Then I'm going to be picking up Holidaze by Christina. I feel like this is a pretty popular one that a lot of people have read or at least heard of. This one is following a Groundhog Day type situation where this girl is reliving the same day over and over. She goes to this cabin every year with her family for Christmas, but this year her family is selling the cabin and she is very upset about that. So that's really all I know about the premise. Christina is one of those authors where I feel like no 2 books by them are the same. All of their books have vastly different premises. I think the only book I've read from them is Love and Other Words, so I am curious to see how I like their Christmas book. Okay, and then the last book I'm going to be reading, I cannot even contain how excited I am to read this book. That is Holiday Romance by Walsh. I think I'm going to love this one. I think it's going to be a new favorite. So I initially picked it up because I was trying to find some fun romances for the Christmas season. Heard this one was Friends to Lovers, which is my favorite romance trope ever, so that's an auto buy for me. I picked it up and then I heard it described as the Christmas version of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, one of my favorite books of all time. And then I found out the 2 main characters are from Ireland. So that is giving kind of like Normal People vibes, which is another one of my favorite books. So a little bit of Normal People with People We Meet on Vacation in one book. Am I gonna give a Christmas book 5 stars? I don't know, it's possible, but I feel like I'm gonna love this one. So stay tuned to find out how I end up liking it. This one's following Molly and Andrew, who, like I said, are from Ireland, but they live in Chicago. They are good friends, so every year when the holiday season rolls around and they are flying home to visit their family, they just fly home together to make the traveling process less daunting. And this book spans over the course of 10 years, which I love that we get a really long look at their relationship and we see how it grows. And I feel like a lot of this book is going to take place in the airport and on the plane and while they're traveling, which is so Christmassy to me. I just love that vibe. I love to travel, so this book sounds right up my alley. I'm so excited about it. So I'm just super excited to read all 3 of these books for this vlog. I'm literally about to go downstairs right now, make some lunch, sit in front of my Christmas tree, and start reading Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. So I will update you guys when I have some thoughts. I hope you enjoy the vlog. Hi guys, I've changed into comfy clothes now, started window shopping. I'm on page 2, literally already am shook because our main character was just released from prison, which I remember hearing that when people were describing this book last year, but no one's talked about that in a while, so it slipped my mind. But it was just like it's such a unexpected little element to the story, so I'm really interested to see why she was in prison. If it ends up being a spoiler, then I obviously won't share, but yeah, I'm already shook and I just started reading, so I was like, I need to film an update. I've made it to page 56 in Window Shopping, and so far my first impressions are that I'm liking it. I feel like the writing is better than I thought it would be. I just kind of had low expectations for a Christmas book, but it's better than I expected. And our male main character is exceeding my expectations too. I knew that he was inspired by Ted Lasso, which I am not really a fan of Ted Lasso because I don't like a sunshiny, super positive character. I feel like they always cringe me out, but the things our main character is saying is actually like funny to me and it's making me like him more. So he is exceeding my expectations. I feel like the romance though is kind of disappointing me. I feel like at first it was starting out strong, but now it's kind of like picked up the pace and it just feels like it's moving a bit too fast to be believable, which I'm just trying to like not read too much into it since it's just a little Christmas romance. I'm just trying to have fun with it. But those are my first impression initial thoughts. I'm about to go to a family friend's birthday dinner, so I have to stop reading for now, but I'm planning to read a good bit more tonight when I'm home. Hi guys, so I've made it to page 150 in window shopping. I'm a little over halfway through. I did some reading last night when I got home and a little bit this morning as well. And I have some thoughts. So my main issue with it right now is the pacing of the romance. And I know it's just a personal preference, but I love a slow burn because it feels believable when the tension's building up, and I feel like it makes the chemistry more believable between the characters. And the pacing of the romance in this is just kind of weird. Like, I liked their meet cute and it was a little insta-lovey, but I didn't mind. And from there, they had like a setback, so it'll be like 2 steps forward really quickly in their relationship and then 1 step back, and it keeps like going back and forth to where it's just giving me whiplash and the pacing feels off. And then our main guy, our Ted Lasso guy, Aiden, he's kind of driving me insane a little bit. So he has this whole like nice guy persona. He's like, I'm such a nice guy, but when you get me in bed, I'm not so nice. I'm not like other guys, and I can't find any women that like both of my sides. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, the majority of women say that they want a nice guy who's like a little crazy in bed. Like, that's such a normal thing. And he's acting like no women like him and people can't handle his nice guy on the streets, freak in the sheets personality. And I'm just like, what is going on here? He needs to take a few seats. Also, he's really like playing into this like hero kind of savior complex thing he has going on. He's like, oh Stella, like prove to me that this is more than like a boss employee situation, and you don't think I'm taking advantage of you, and you don't think I'm showing you favoritism. So that's what I'm talking about when it's like some setbacks. I feel like he has some insecurities, which is fine, but just the way they're playing out is just weird. So I'm not loving the pacing of the romance. It's kind of reminding me of Accidentally Amy, where the premise is very strong and their meet cute is super cute, but from there the characters feel kind of like half-baked. The plot feels a little underdeveloped and not super well thought out. So I don't know, this book started out as a solid 4 and now it's like at a low 3, could potentially be a 2 depending on how it ends. So we'll see, but that's how I'm feeling so far about this book. I'm actually about to go do some Christmas shopping, which I feel like is fitting while I'm reading this book, but I'll read more when I get home from Christmas shopping. Hi guys, I finished window shopping last night and I ended up giving it 2 stars. I didn't hate it, but overall I didn't really like it and I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. I feel like it was just lacking in some areas. Some of that was personal preference, but some of it just felt a little underdeveloped to me. I really liked the premise and their meet cute, so I feel like the idea was there, but the execution just didn't work for me personally. Also, the smut scenes were super cringy to me. I did not enjoy them. Normally, I love a spicy book, but I was cringing the entire time through every smut scene in this. There were definitely more things I didn't like about this than things that I did like about it. So sadly, this one disappointed me a little bit, and it is a 2-star from me. After I finished window shopping, I did pick up and start reading In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. And I've already made it to page 132, which I definitely planned on giving an update as far as my first impressions go for this book, but I've just been enjoying it and not wanting to put it down so far. It's really refreshing because it's different from anything I've ever read before, especially for a holiday book. I like how there's romance in it, but the romance is kind of in the back seat and we're mostly following this main character's journey and other life problems that she's dealing with. So I'm really enjoying it. It's fun. It's giving me everything I want in a holiday book. All the vibes are there. I don't think it's going to be a new favorite, but again, like I said, just a good time and really enjoyable. So I will update you guys as I have more thoughts on In a Holidaze. Hi guys, I wanted to film an update for In a Holidaze, and I also needed to do some Christmas wrapping, so I thought I would kill two birds in one stone in the spirit of this holiday themed reading vlog and do both at the same time. So I am 70% of the way through In a Holidaze, and I think in my last update I was talking about how this book feels really refreshing because it's different from most books I read, and I like that the romance is kind of taking a backseat. And I swear in every reading vlog I end up like eating my words, because immediately after that, up into the point I'm at now, the whole thing has been the romance. And it's not that I don't like the romance, it's just not what I was expecting at all. And I was like, okay, maybe that's my fault. Maybe I just like misunderstood what this book was gonna be about. And I went and I reread the summary on the back of the book. And based off that, I would not be under the impression that this is a romance. I feel like it hints that there are romantic elements to it for sure, but not like a full-fledged romance. And I'm talking romance with spice, y'all. There's even a love triangle with the two brothers and the girl, and I'm like, okay, Summer, I turned pretty. But I'm making it sound like I hate it. I honestly don't. It's like a solid 3-star book right now, and I don't really see that changing unless I just like absolutely love or hate the ending. I'm just a little disappointed because I was loving the time loop element to the story, and I was loving the found family aspects, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the time loop, but I feel like it was told in such a good way, and it was keeping me on my toes, and it wasn't repetitive like I was afraid it might be. And now it's just turned into a whole romance. So that's where we are with In a Holidaze. I'm planning on finishing it tonight, and I will let you guys know my final thoughts tomorrow. Hi guys, I finished In a Holidaze, and I'm gonna keep my rating at a 3-star, but it is a very low 3-star. Not much really changed since my last update, but I will say the epilogue, I just had to start skimming it because it was making me like the book even less than I already was. It was just super cheesy, a little too over the top, and just like rounding out this romance that I wasn't expecting, and that was my main issue with the book. I feel like this book is heavily mismarketed. Did not anticipate this being a full-fledged romance for the majority of the book. I hate that they had this really great time loop premise and then they just kind of abandoned it a third of the way through the book, and that was my favorite part. So sadly, this one was a bit of a disappointment and just not what I was expecting. However, I did start the highly anticipated holiday romance by Catherine Walsh this morning, and I am loving it so far. It's just as cute as I thought it would be. It truly is the Christmas version of People We Meet on Vacation. I'm loving the setting. Pretty much the whole thing so far has taken place in the airport and on the actual airplane, which is so fun. I feel like the setting is about to shift though, because their flight just got canceled, so they're going to be in the actual city of Chicago, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm really loving our two main characters, Molly and Andrew. They are very much just friends right now though, so it'll be interesting to see how their relationship grows and develops, and this story is just so cute so far. I'm gonna try to get a good bit of the way through this one tonight. I'm already at page 65 though, So I feel like I'm going to fly through it since I'm already enjoying it so much. Hi guys, I am almost finished with Holiday Romance. I have like less than 50 pages left, and I haven't been updating you guys just because I have not wanted to put this book down. It is so good. I'm loving it just as much as I thought I would. The setting is incredible. I love Molly and Andrew. If you like Emily Henry, you will definitely love this book. It is so reminiscent of an Emily Henry novel. And I know this book just came out a few months ago, but I can't believe that more people aren't talking about it. I know this vlog is going up like right before Christmas, but if you're trying to squeeze one more holiday book in this year, if you're traveling, or if you are planning your Christmas reads for next year, definitely put this one at the top of your list because it is so good. The first 2/3 of this book was definitely a Christmas version of People We Meet on Vacation. The setting has been so fun. It's mostly taken place in the airport and on the actual airplane, and like I mentioned in my first update, their flight got canceled, so we've been following this really fun journey as they've had to take a few detours together to try and make it home in time for Christmas. And it's been very fast paced. And then now the last third is reminding me so much of Book Lovers. Molly reminds me so much of Nora because she's a girl boss, she's a big time lawyer, and now we're starting to explore her relationship with her twin sister Zoe, and it's reminding me so much of the sister relationship between Nora and Libby in Book Lovers. Andrew is a little more nice guy than Charlie Lastra in Book Lovers, but still giving me similar vibes. I feel like Molly and Andrew's dynamic is very similar to Nora and Charlie's dynamic. I will say I wish we got more of our past timeline. I thought it was going to be more like then and now, switching back and forth every other chapter, but it's mostly only taking place in the present with like a few flashbacks here and there to their flights over the years, and we only get like 3 to 4 pages at a time max. It's mostly because Molly and Andrew really haven't spent that much time together outside of their travel days each year. They mentioned that they hang out a few times throughout the year aside from the 7 hours that they're together on the plane, but I do really wish there was more of a backstory there with them and we got to see more of their friendship throughout the years leading up to the present. But other than that, I am loving this story so much, and I'm definitely going to finish it tonight, probably within the next hour, because like I said, I have like maybe 50 pages left, but it is so good. I'm loving Holiday Romance. Hi guys, I finished Holiday Romance. I feel like when I last updated you guys, I was sitting at a 4.5 in terms of my rating for this book. I really just wanted a little more insight into their backstory as far as the flashback scenes go. And I was just hoping for a little more spice and a few more swoon-worthy moments between the couple. And the last 50 pages really did deliver and give me everything that I was wanting. So I keep going back and forth between a 4.5 and a 5-star rating. This book was amazing. I loved it. On paper, I feel like it had all the elements that make it my ideal book, but I don't know if it quite gave me that 5-star feeling all the way. So for now, I'm settling with a 4.5 stars for Holiday Romance. If this book ends up staying with me and having a lasting impact, and it's one that I keep going back to and thinking about, then I'll bump up my rating. That has happened several times in the past, so we'll just have to see. But for now, I'm giving this book 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So to conclude this vlog, I thought I would do a little mini wrap up summarizing everything that I read. First, I read Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I absolutely loved the premise and I loved their meet cute, but from there, the pacing of the romance didn't really work for me and the smut scenes really cringed me out. I feel like the idea was there, but the execution just didn't work for me personally. The characters in the story felt a little bit half-baked, so I gave Window Shopping 2 stars. Then I read In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. This was another book where I loved the premise, but I felt like the execution was kind of lacking a little bit. I feel like it started out strong and I was loving the time loop and I was loving the found family aspects and the characters for the first third of the book. And then it just kind of ditched the initial premise and the focus completely shifted to this romance, which I was not expecting at all. I feel like this book is mismarketed because even rereading the back didn't lead me to believe that this was a full-fledged romance story, with spice, with a love triangle. So it just ended up not being what I expected, but it was still an enjoyable time overall. I gave this book 3 stars. Then I rounded out the vlog with the holiday book that I was most anticipating, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the setting. I loved the travel aspects to the story. The characters were mature and realistic and had a lot of depth to them, and I feel like the plot was more than just the romance, which I really appreciated. And one last time, I'll say it again, if you like Emily Henry, you'll definitely love this book because it was very reminiscent of both People We Meet on Vacation and book lovers. So I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars. All right guys, that is going to conclude this holiday reading vlog. I'm sorry it's going up a little bit later than I would have liked, but if you have time to squeeze one more holiday book in before Christmas is over, definitely pick up Holiday Romance. That would be my #1 recommendation. Or if one of the other books sounds like it would be up your alley, maybe it didn't work for me, but it might work for you personally. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. If not, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the winter season, and I will see you guys so soon in my next video. Bye guys.